Well, that's a great question. What are they sad about? They created their situation. Don't come out now and try to act like it's other people. What do you want? You want equal but special? They're sad because, well, good morning to you. You know I love morning sports, so I was up early. Yeah, I was up early, and I'm watching Brian Harmon trying to go back-to-back in the British. I think it would be back-to-back. I don't know. It feels like it'd be back-to-back, that kind of thing. But I digress. What happens? What happens when a group of a couple wokies get together and they're sad? They're sad, ladies and gentlemen. What are they sad about? Well, they're sad because Shane Gillis was mean to the woke. They're sad because Shane Gillis actually told jokes. They're sad because, well, everybody in the WNBA pits Caitlin Clark against everybody else. There's so much to be sad about, actually, other than the fact that woke is broke. See, hey, can we put that on a shirt and credit me? Woke is broke. Woke is broke. That's right. It be broke. Well, when you got gas bags like Sarah Spain, who Dave Portnoy famously just ripped this morning, and, of course, Nancy Armour, who in her elderly state is trying to become something. Nobody's ever paid attention to Nancy Armour. I think she works maybe at the USA Today with a circulation of 6. They got on a podcast together, and they ain't happy. They ain't happy about Caitlin Clark. They ain't happy about the media pits everybody but against Caitlin Clark. So let's give these two dried up, washed up old hags a little bit of time, shall we? All right, here it is. Let's hear it from Caitlin Clark, Sarah Spain, and USA Today's Nancy Armour. Here we go.
Why the F are we always pitting women against each other? Why? Like, it's maddening to me. Because is she going to like every single player in the league? No. Is every player in the league going to like her? No. Do we care when that is the same case in the NBA or the NFL? No. We get a kick out of it. You know, we like, when LeBron talks trash or, trying to decide if he and Steph are buddies or not, or like this need to have women be catfighting, or this narrative that women are incapable of doing anything but catfighting is so tired. It's like, these are unbelievable athletes, and they got where they are because they are insanely talented. They're also competitive as hell. And that's a good thing. Like, if you are an elite athlete, that's part of your DNA. And to pretend that that's not the case, or, try and make it into something that it's not, it's like, again, why do we always have to have somebody sniping at it?
Well, that's a great question. And I'll give you the answer, because that's what women do in sports. I mean, you're asking why. I'm going to give you the answer. These two women, I guess, Sarah Spain acts like she played a sport, but my wife has been in collegiate sports for 30 years. All-American player, alternate on an Olympic team in softball, took Toledo to the College World Series. Think about that, from the MAC. Coach, all-time winningest coach at Bowling Green in Syracuse, and she tells you exactly why. Because that's what women do. Women hate to see other women succeed in sports. Now, you can couch it and you can do your little narrative and you can claim victim status here, but nobody did this except the women of the WNBA. Like, when you punch somebody in the back, when you are constantly picking on a particular player, particularly one that's better than you, people stand up. They go, enough. And then when you act so dumb, like Angel Reese and the rest of these idiots, then you got to make fun of them. But the reason is simple. Don't come out now and try to act like it's other people that are doing this. No. You women in sports cannot stand to see other women in sports succeed. Contrary to what Sarah Spain, Nancy Moore, and all these other liberal woke gas bags, men and women are very different. Men and women compete against each other. Women bitch at each other. And you saw it. You saw it clearly. This isn't me talking. This is my wife talking. Oh, my God, somebody's better than me. Oh, my God, somebody's getting more attention to me. Oh, my God, she's doing this. I'm not doing that. Wait, what? I can't stand it. I'm jealous. I'm petty. And as Michael Thompson famously said, Jeep, jealousy, envy, ego, and pettiness. Charles Barkley has called out the pettiness. I mean, with guys, it's competition. With women, it's straight pettiness. Now, you can go about the business of shaping what I just said here to your narrative. But Spain and Nancy Ardmore, your narrative is bullshit. Don't come at us with now all of a sudden these women that have acted like such jackasses are now some type of victim. No, they created their situation. People would love for competition. And don't try to tell us these women are insanely talented and competitive. Don't try to tell us that. These women are jealous, envious, big egos that are being hurt, and petty. That's what the hell they are, period. So don't come here, at least not on our show, with that bullshit. Why? Because jealousy, envy, ego, and pettiness rules the roost. And again, this isn't me. This is not me. I've always stood up for women's sports, but this shit is ridiculous. And to act like it's anybody's fault other than the jealous, egomaniac pettiness of the WNBA women, that's the fault, period. And it's not even close. Spain, of course, wasn't done there. She's trying, and we'll give her some props. We'll give her props. I know she got, finally they realized that she's an untalented hack. Finally they realized that she's a bitter, washed-up, dried-up old lady, and they got tired of her. So she's not on anymore, but she's trying. So we'll give her credit. She proceeded to log on to X to let the world know her feelings about Shane Gillis' monologue. Nobody really cares anymore. I'm not sure anybody ever did care. In a year of crazy growth for women's sports, choosing an ESPN host who doesn't even try to make clever jokes about women's athletes. Oh, I thought it was pretty clever. I thought the one thing he should have said, though, was getting beaten up, Caitlin Clark, getting beaten up by black women instead of fist-fighting black women. But hey, I digress. Of course he was funny. I don't really like his presentation. I think he's somewhat pedestrian in the manner with which he tells a joke. But the edginess, perfect. Absolutely perfect. At least he attempted for the men. He goes with hacky, no one knows the WNBA bits. Of course. Why is that hacky? I mean, look, just because some big old gal sitting in Chicago dressed poorly thinks it's hacky doesn't mean it's hacky. In fact, I would argue if Sarah Spain doesn't like it, it's pretty good. No, it's really, really good because we all know when we line people up historically, Sarah Spain has been the arbiter of funny. I mean, nobody knows from funny like Sarah Spain. Nobody can sit there and digress, dissect, digest comedy like good old Sarah Spain. She's a blast at party. I saw her at a party one time. True story. 1985 Bears preview. People were dressed nice. She looked like a slob. She had some nasty-ass old coat on. Her boyfriend, her husband, whatever, looked like some douche. And she looked like a ridiculous human being. Just ridiculous. She thought she was something. She paraded around like she was something, and literally nobody paid attention. But she is not exactly the bastion of fashion, the bastion of funny, the bastion of anything, but just woke, angry, old lady. That's all she is. Pino is a bad time and repeatedly insults black women. Cool. That was. I mean, what? Look, what do you want? You want equal but special? Is that what we're supposed to do? We want equal but special. Treat us equally as black women and men, but be special. That what you want? No, it's not what you want. That's called pandering. Not what he did. He included, Shane Gillis did, everybody. He included everybody. Hey, nobody was exempt. Now, in the woke world, you're supposed to be exempt. Don't even say the word black. Your shirt isn't black. It's coal. I mean, it offends dipshits like Sarah Spain to no end because that's all they have. What could Sarah Spain possibly tell you about sports? What could Sarah Spain, she would not know whether a team is in a zone, a man-to-man. She wouldn't know nothing. Nothing. So the idea that Sarah Spain is the bastion of funny is funny. So there's a certain irony there. So Sarah Spain taking issue with ESPN choosing Shane Gillis to host the ESPYs during the world of crazy growth. Crazy growth. Every year I hear about this crazy growth. Now, she didn't say shit, Sarah Spain didn't, when a woman was getting her ass kicked in swimming by dudes. She hasn't said shit about little girls getting their ass kicked by bigger boys in track and field all across this country. She hasn't said nothing. Zero zip. She hasn't stood up for anything. Why? Because she would lose her place among the woke little douchebags of Pablo Torre, Dan Lebitard, Bomani Jones, Jamel Hill. If she actually stood up for women, which she never does, hasn't, won't, then maybe, just maybe, we could take her serious as she's trying to stand up for women. But she never does. Ever. Not once. She's all for Women's History Month. Celebrate women's history. Let's talk about Leah Thomas, a dude beating women. Nah, Sarah Spain's full of shit. But good for her. Hey, she doesn't get talked about much. She's talked about today, as she should be. Hey, enjoying the show so far? I hope so. Of course you are. Make sure you head on over to youtube.com/@OutKick/videos to like, comment, and subscribe. That way, you'll never, ever, 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 ever miss any of our fantastic content. Bad news for the WNBA All-Star Game. Really, really bad news. What's that bad news? No Caitlin Clark. See, the All-Star Game is in Indy because Caitlin Clark is in Indy. Good Morning America. I guess that's still a show. I don't know. It's coming. Is here. I guess. It's Friday. I assume they're here to Indy to do a show. So our little girls got all dolled up. Okay. But the problem is this. The problem is we ain't got no Caitlin Clark. She pulled a groin. She announced yesterday she gone. She out. She's not going to be in the three-point contest. She's going to be replaced by the very popular here in Indy, Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall just was signing autographs, taking pictures over at the Athleta store in the Keystone Mall. I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, and the joint was jumping. The joint was packed. Lexi Hall's a hot blonde girl, so people like her here in Indy. Plays for the Fever, associated with Caitlin Clark, so people like her here in Indy. But Caitlin Clark is hurt, and Caitlin Clark won't be participating in not only the three-point contest, but in the game, which I don't know if people are going to watch the game anyway. I assume it will be announced. These are the biggest ratings ever. I assume that. I don't know. But without Caitlin Clark, I think it'll all be bullshit. Caitlin Clark drives the bus. Now, all little girls are in meetings trying to get more money. Good for them. They should. I don't think they should get more money, but they should try. The worst fear of the WNBA officially came true. Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark, by far the biggest and some would argue the only draw in the league, announced that she will not participate in the league's three-point shootout or all-star game this weekend due to her latest injury. When last seen, Caitlin Clark was crying on the court, yelling and screaming at everybody, losing her mind, having to be held back. But she's not going to play in it, and that's too bad. Here's Clark's statement. I'm so excited for Indy to host WNBA All-Star this weekend. I want to thank the Indianapolis Host Committee and all the people that have put endless work in over the past year to put this event together. I know it will be the best All-Star yet. All right. I'm incredibly sad and disappointed to say I can't participate in three-point contests or the All-Star game. I have to rest my body. I'll still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all the action. And I'm looking forward to helping Sandy coach our team to a win. Can't wait to see you all out there. All right, there you go. There's no other way to say it. This is a disaster for the WNBA. When Clark participated in the All-Star game last year, the league set a record for television viewership. Broadcast peaked at over 4 million. The average viewership of 3.4 mil on ABC more than doubled the previous best All-Star game of 1.3 back in 2003. Most watched WNBA game in Disney/ESPN history. Yeah, that's too bad. I would have loved to have seen it. Friend of the show, one of the best coaches in the sport, Tennessee, Auburn's Bruce Pearl, Join Scott Jennings, and based off his answer, it seems people can temper down the belief that the coach may bolt from Auburn to run for Senate. Here's Bruce Pearl and the possibility of running for Tommy Tuberville's Senate seat.
Really, thank you to your listeners, for loving our country so much and believing that we're making America great again. But America's also pretty good right now, but also we're concerned. We're concerned about the progressive Democratic left side of our government, and we're really excited about the things that President Trump is doing. Scott, I love Auburn. I love Auburn. It is a great, great place. I know you want to send your kids to Kentucky or maybe Louisville or someplace there close at home. Auburn is. We love our country. We love our neighbor. We love our faith. We love our family, and we're not afraid to talk about it, so on and so forth. But I love our country, and I am concerned about. I'm concerned about the Democratic Party and just the direction they're going, particularly as it relates to policies that they've done with this country, putting us in such incredible debt. And I'm concerned about their stand in the world. This world was dying for leadership, and Donald Trump has come in and he has led. Our lack of leadership created the situation in Ukraine. It funded Iran and all the terrorism and created all the ability for this to happen. Thank God nothing happened in Taiwan and China. But if the Democrats held on for another 4 years, oh my goodness, that could be sitting in our lap right now. President Trump and the Republicans have turned that completely around. And so I care about this stuff. At the same time, question is, can it also have impact as a basketball coach? I'm graduating kids. I'm teaching kids. I'm on Auburn's campus. I'm ministering. I'm teaching. I'm preaching. I'm on a Scott Jennings show, right? I'm trying.
You got a big voice.
And I don't know that I have to be a senator in order to do that, because there are so many things about Washington that is so dysfunctional that I don't even know that I could make a difference there.
Yeah, there you go. You can't. Tommy Tuberville's great, though. When he comes on the show, Tommy will tell you how screwed up the place is. Bruce would be great. Bruce would be common sense. Bruce would be unafraid. Bruce was also asked the toughest environments he's ever coached in.
Going to the Senate for you would be a tough arena, but I'm gonna ask you a question. We'll take it out of politics, back into your lane. What's the toughest arena? What's the toughest arena environment Bruce Pearl has ever walked into or will walk into this coming season?
Man, I love the transition. I love that transition that you just made. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, listen, there's a no-brainer in this answer. The toughest place to play, and you will know what I'm talking about, is the Sports Center in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, you walk in there, Scott, they be wadding up stuff, throwing it at my head, dog cussing me. I wouldn't let my wife or my kids ever go to a game. They love those Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers. And the second toughest place is probably Rupp Arena. So I'd say the two places in Kentucky have been the two places I've ever coached.
You heard it here first from Bruce Pearl. Going to the state, do you get anxiety? Like when the bus or the charter jet is fueling up and you're going to be landing in Lexington or Louisville or so, does the anxiety begin to well up in you? Like, oh my goodness gracious, we got to go to the Commonwealth today. Give me a break.
No, it doesn't, because those people love their basketball. They know their basketball. I feel a real responsibility, to play good basketball in those arenas. And I've not had a great record at Rupp. We won last year, but boy, before that, it was few and far between. No, you know what I want? I want my kids getting off that plane with a level of confidence, feeling that they're prepared. And I want the Kentucky fans to look at Auburn warming up going, what in the world are those guys so confident about?
I know.
Don't they know they're fixing to get their butt handed to them? That's how I want my teams prepared.
That's Bruce Pearl.
There you go. All right. That's a little pandering, but I ain't mad at it. Why not? Hey, look, you're on the show. Let them know. Here's some notable figures that have become U.S. Senators. Bill Bradley, one of the greatest basketball players, certainly college basketball players at Princeton of all time. Jim Bunning threw a no-hitter, perfect game in Major League Baseball, and he was a senator. Of course, Tommy Tuberville, who gave Alabama and Nick Saban fits as the head coach of Auburn. Not a lot more, but there's three pretty good ones. All right, we got beef. We got beef. Where's the beef? Here's the beef. Former Kansas City Royals first baseman Eric Hosmer blasted MLB reporter Ken Rosenthal for his line of questioning directed at Brewers rookie pitcher Jacob Misiorowski, asking how AL and NL players have been treating him since the public backlash by the Phillies players over the Miz being selected for the All-Star game despite only 5 starts. And the Philly players were pissed. 2 of their own, Ranger Suarez and Christopher Sanchez, didn't make it. The Miz made it. Here's Rosenthal's question to the Miz.
Jacob, I know you've only started 5 Major League regular season games. How did pitching in the All-Star game compare?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, and, it's a little different than starting, but it was fun.
You had a big smile on your face after the single by Aranda. What were you thinking?
Oh, I was trying to get a change up by him and, have a little fun and just show off, and, he got to it, so, it's all fun.
As you know, some players were upset by the fact that you were selected, but how were you treated by the players on your team?
Oh, yeah, awesome. I mean, they were all so happy for me, and, it was awesome.
And the National League All-Stars, how did they treat you?
They're good. They're really good, yeah. They're awesome. The guys, they're all happy for me, so.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. What do you want him to ask? I mean, he's asking the questions you're supposed to ask. Hosmer said dynamite questions for the youngster. Miz at Ken Rosenthal really is disgusting. They continue to let you in a dugout during these games. All right, just based on that, there's a backstory. Of course there's a backstory. I mean, what Rosenthal did, it's what he should have done. Who cares? Anyway, during last postseason, Rosenthal was essentially barred from the Padres dugout after publishing a column in The Athletic in which he described Manny Machado as punkish and Fernando Tatis as a peacock. In response, San Diego players enacted a complete media blackout during Game 3 of their NLDS matchup against the Dodgers. That's the kind of stuff I like. See, I don't care about any of this other crap. I want guys to say, you can't write this crap, and then come in here and cover us. I don't care. Like, writers always think they're so tough. Well, I write it, and then I show up. Really? I mean, what's the player going to do? Kick your ass in the locker room? I mean, what is the guy supposed to do? I write my stuff, and then I show up. Oh, well, good. All right, great. Okay. Wonderful. Who cares? I mean, look, the bottom line is players do what you want to do. Rosenthal do what you want to do. Hosmer do what you want to do. I'm taking the Stephen A. Smith. Remember a couple days ago, Stephen A. Smith said, yeah, well, it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. I'm taking that. That's my stance on this. Much ado about nothing. People love this guy, Eli Drinkowitz, the Missouri football coach. People call him Drink. They call him Drink. He's got his finger on the pulse of the nation. This is Drink's opening remarks on SEC Media Day. He kind of sort of does. He kind of does have the pulse on the nation.
With that, I know there's a lot of burning questions in this room by the 14 of y'all that showed up. But just as a reminder, I'm not going to answer any questions about the Epstein files, whether about the radiation belt, and whether or not it was possible for Lee Harvey Oswald to get 3 shots off in 7 seconds. I don't have time to answer all those questions. But I will answer questions about Mizzou football. And I would be remiss if I didn't say Bob Holt was a graduate of the Missouri School of Journalism, and we miss him today, and we think about him often. And so with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Wow, that's really clever. I mean, golly, that is just absolute freaking great journalism. Oh, that's unbelievable. Oh, that's funny. Drink is so funny. God, I love Drink. Oh, okay, great. I mean, wonderful. Friend of the show, the great Urban Meyer, he poured some cold water on Deion Sanders' wish for a salary cap in college football. Here's what Urban Meyer had to say. Oh, I'm sorry. It will never happen. It will never happen because Colorado is not the same as Ohio State and Alabama. and big market cities that have alumni that are willing to do that. It's like Major League Baseball. You got the left side of the Dodgers infield making more than most Major League teams. That's going to happen. He's right. He is right. He is absolutely right. But this isn't a new thing. Like, let's make sure we understand. There has always been the haves and have-nots. And if you think Ohio State's the same as Colorado before NIL, you're out of your mind. I mean, if you think – I remember going back when Urban took the Utah job. Urban takes the Utah job from Bowling Green, and the athletic director and assistant athletic directors were – well, that's a lateral move. It's a lateral move. It wasn't. Opening day, Thursday night, I forget who Utah was playing. Joint was absolutely crazy packed. Crazy on national TV. Urban won. I went into the AD and the assistant AD's office. I said, you still think that's the same? We get about 5,000 here for a football game. It's always been the haves and have-nots. There's always been sleeping giants, though, and Colorado may be one. I don't know. They may be, they may not be. I don't know. It remains to be seen. Off to a decent start, rebuilding the program. But the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Alabamas, got a bit of a head start going back years and years and years. And they keep that head start with the league that they're in, Big Ten, SEC. Be hard to get a salary cap. They kind of have one, I guess, $20.5 million. We'll see where it heads. Hey, the Hoosier Bison is back. You see this over my shoulder here? It's an Indiana University number 11 jersey. The jersey I proudly wore for the Indiana Hoosiers. At that time, when I went there, you can make the argument Indiana, North Carolina, Kentucky were the three best basketball programs in the country. Now, Indiana has slipped. Indiana is nowhere to be seen in the conversation, but we do have a Bison, and I guess it's back. Now, I don't know what that means. We've announced at Indiana the return of the Bison after a 60-year hiatus, and people ask, hey, why a Bison? I don't think people understand this, but there are buffalo all over southern Indiana. There still are. There's a big buffalo farm kind of out towards Spencer, Indiana. You drive by it and you see buffalo, and you're like, what the hell buffalo doing? Nick's English Hut, which is the bar in Bloomington, well, they always had a bison. I didn't know, and then I asked. Apparently 60 years ago, we had a bison as a mascot. They're bringing it back. They're bringing it back for the season football opener on August 30th. They're going to be referred to still as the Hoosiers. You better be. But the Bison is the school's official mascot. See, here's my thing. I'm cool with having a mascot. In fact, actually, though, one of the reasons I liked going into Indiana is they don't have a mascot. I hate mascots. I don't like the Red Robin mascot that stands around you when you're eating. I didn't like Zippy the Zip coming up to me during a game telling me I'm getting my ass kicked. I didn't like any of it. None of it. Zero zip. I didn't like it. But what the hell? What I would like for is they, too, at Indiana, run a Bison on the field. Let's see how that goes. You know, like Boomer Sooner. How many of you root for that Boomer Sooner wagon to tip over? I do. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but tip that damn thing over. You know, when the Buffalo runs on the field at Colorado, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I ain't mad if that thing gets away. Indiana doesn't have that kind of stones. They'll probably run some dude out there. Now, August 30th in Bloomington, Indiana, it could be hot as D's nuts. But anyway, I hope they run a real Bison out there and have people pulling on it, you know. That'd be fun. Other than that, I don't care. Hoosier the Bison is back, baby. Yeah. Hoosier the Bison has returned to the IU Bloomington campus after a 60-year hiatus. We're just like everybody else. I've said it forever. All right.